Movie Groove, 7 to 9 Thursdays on Energy Groove Radio.
I thought it was pronounced Kuzine.
Kuzine? Yeah, no.
I found Kuzine in this here restaurant.
Don't be a barbarian. Anyway, every week we like to start each and every show with entertainment and movie news from all around the galaxy. This is the bit that we call Episode 18, A News Hope. And first off, box office news as always. Think Like a Man 2 narrowly defeated fellow Sony comedy 22 Jump Street to take first place at the box office this weekend. The sequel, as we all know, to Think Like a Man, apparently. A popular movie from some time ago. Help me out here, Gav.
Think like a man.
Nope.
Fast as I can.
No. Anyway, meanwhile, Clint Eastwood's Jersey Boys got off to a quiet start. See, that's a bit more appropriate.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
There you go. Because the only people who might care are either too heavily medicated to make it to a theatre or have simply fallen and can't get up. Big shout out to Gav's mum tonight.
Hello.
Think Like a Man 2 opened to $29.2 million this weekend. That's a bit lower than the original. Think Like a Man's $33.6 million is at least an improvement over February's About Last Night, which also starred Kevin Hart, and opened to $25.6. Now, a $29 million opening for a modestly budget relationship comedy is undeniably good. Still, with Hart's increased popularity, and with the fun new setting of Las Vegas over the setting of the original film, there was an expectation that the sequel could open higher than its allegedly well-liked predecessor. One possible reason for the decline is the mid-June competition, and another is that those who saw the original actually remember it. Do you have any clue what I'm talking about, Gav?
Think Like a Man?
Yeah, because this did not appear on my radar at all.
Nope.
Clearly, I'm not the target market, but in any case,
What's the story like? One girl story, how she can... I'm going to think like a man and win my man back.
No, it's an urban market movie.
Oh, okay.
It's the urban market is how marketing people refer to black people, so they don't sound racist.
Oh, jive, right on.
Please don't do that.
Righteous.
I apologize for my partner. And if you're sending death threats, you could post them on our Facebook page.
That's
it's
right.
simply
Send
called
them to
Movie
me.
Groove.
I'll send you a
Gavalanche's
reply.
address.
I'll send you a reply. Big Cleveland steamer in an envelope. That's right.
Gavalanche's home address. Well, he lives with his
34
mum.
Funky Street,
He
baby.
lives with his
Funky.
mum. So if you're going to throw firebombs through the window, it's the window on the right.
Your
That's
mama
on the
knows where I
right,
live. She over
not
my place all the time. That's
not the
right.
left.
I left my
So-
wallet under your bed.
Oh dear.
That's right.
In second place, 22 Jump Street fell 52% to $27.5 million. That
Ba-bow.
drop is steeper than that of last month's Neighbours, though 22 Jump Street was coming off a bigger opening weekend. The Jonah Hill Channing Tatum comedy sequel has grossed $109.9 million and is on track for at least 165 total. 22 Jump Street has surprised moviegoers and critics alike by possibly being the first sequel to a surprise comedy hit that's actually good and not as unwatchable as a sex tape of your parents.
Oh, yeah.
Or Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, no.
And that's your parents I'm referring to there, Gav.
Oh, yeah.
So it is a good tape, though.
DVD or CD?
Mum gives a very good account of herself in that one. Hi, Camille. You know I love you. They're only jokes.
You're in trouble now, pal.
Did I mention her name on air? Anyway,
Prank call.
How to Train Your Dragon 2. Again, I don't need the instruction. It had a week debut last weekend. There was a hope that the well-reviewed contender... Oh, wait a minute. This is a horse racing metaphor. There was a hope that the well-reviewed contender would perform similar to its predecessor, slow out of the gate but leggy in the long run. Unfortunately, the animated sequel fell back to 50% on the second bid to $24.7 million. In comparison, the first runner raced 34% in his second outing through 10 days. How to Train Your Dragon has earned $94.6 million and is on track to retire around $170 million before being recycled as a range of microwave dinners available soon in supermarkets everywhere. And that one. If you bet on that one, you lost your money. I'm sorry about that. Meanwhile, playing at 2,905 theatres, Clint Eastwood's Jersey Boys opened in fourth place with $13.3 million. That's lower than Broadway adaptation Third Rock of Ages with Tom Cruise. That opened to 14.4 in June of 2012. Still, it is an improvement over recent Eastwood movies J. Edgar, Hereafter, and Invictus, which wasn't very good despite having Morgan Freeman playing
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Hello there, Matt Damon. You need to win this football game because it's very important for our people. I'm sorry, Mr. Mandela. I voted for the other guy. I don't like black people.
That's how it should have been.
It's South Africa. Come on.
Starring De Klerk as the bad guy. And the
And
Watusi tribe.
It is
has-
It must be very difficult to act and do a South African accent at the same time.
Oh, no.
You have to
it's
win the
all right.
game of football.
It's all right. I don't know what to
It's
say.
a very difficult accent to do.
It is a bit difficult.
Anyway,
We should hang out with Scarlett Johansson. She knows how to do it.
Jersey Boys is primarily appealing to older audiences. 71% of ticket buyers were over the age of 50. In direct contradiction to their bowel movements, that audience tend not to rush out during an opening, which means that Jersey Boys could see regular sittings yielding a solid result.
Yeah.
You know, it's all right then. What have you got?
I've got life, mama.
He's singing again. I really shouldn't. I'm going to stop asking you questions is what I'm going to do.
Sister.
In other news, frat boy douchebags may trigger a nuclear war.
Uh-oh.
Have Seth Rogen and James Franco gone a wee bit too far this time after setting the world aflame quite literally in their post-apocalyptic comedy This Is the End? The duo may actually have fostered the conditions to actually make it happen, actually.
Yes.
News.com reports that that's what the North Korean government is saying, calling the duo's upcoming film a what, Gav? An act of war. War. This time, it's war. So the interview, starring Franco as a TV host and Rogen as his producer, the two are sent to North Korea to assassinate Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. You know him, he's the fat kid.
So
On-
are we.
I know that was his father, so...
That was his uncle, wasn't
He looks so ridiculous. He really does just look like a gormless fat kid. Just, you know, what's happening today? Well, you're standing on the balcony some and...
it? But I want to play PlayStation.
Yeah. The
Bring back Rodney King.
Anyway,
No, it's not Rodney King, what's it? Rodman.
the North Korean Authority are not happy about this, and they say the act of making and screening such a... I'm not going to do the accent.
Yeah, do it.
No, it's racist.
You're racist, man.
I know. Such a movie that portrays the attack on our top leadership is a most wanton act of terror and an act of war and is absolutely intolerable, a foreign ministry spokesman said in a statement cited by the AFP. He also threatened a resolute and merciless response if the film is not banned by the US government. Apparently Kim's going to Instagram a picture of himself in the shower.
Ew.
Yeah, I know.
That makes it a hot war.
North Korea has often directed highly incendiary rhetoric at the US government, with its state-run media calling President Obama a wicked black monkey. That is so racist. They also went on to say, you could tell this by his appearance and behavior, and while it may not be because he is a crossbreed,
Ooh.
one cannot help thinking the more one sees him that he has escaped from a monkey's body.
Yes.
The controversial article added, wow, that's...
Wow. I never knew that.
that's
Obama is half monkey.
No, it's not true. It's
Wow.
an extremely racist thing to say.
That. Give him a banana.
Ooh, no, that would no.
Yeah.
No,
hey, monkey
we're not.
boy.
We're not
But the
justifying this with
Koreans, the
sleazy
North
jokes.
Koreans
It's
said, they
awful.
said he's half a monkey, though. The Koreans, they wouldn't lie.
Yeah, they also say that their president is literally a god.
He is. And you must get your haircut like mine. Or
Was that-
15 other styles.
I thought it was quite funny when Kim Jong-il died.
Yes.
The last place they ever took footage of him alive was on an escalator. And so they had footage of all these people who'd gone to visit the escalator, and they were having this competitive grieving kind of session where they're all really trying hard to cry the loudest.
Outdo the crying, that's right. Because
Yeah.
if you weren't crying, the soldiers would be looking at you going, why
Yeah,
aren't
I
you
know,
crying?
I know. Apparently there was like a massive rail explosion, a fuel train exploded, and it caused a huge fire, and there were thousands of deaths because people were running into their homes to save their portrait of Kim Jong-il.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
if you don't have your portrait, then you just get
That's
hauled
right.
off to
Well,
a gulag.
That's
so,
right.
Yes.
You need one in your wallet, too, as well. I think just a handy one to carry around with you. T-shirts.
Yeah, it's a socialist paradise. The response comes days after Kim Myong-chol, executive director of the Center for North Korean U.S. Peace and an unofficial spokesman for the regime, also denounced the film. There is a special irony in this storyline, he says, as it shows the desperation of the U.S. government and American society. A film about the assassination of a foreign leader mirrors what the U.S. has done in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and the Ukraine. And let us not forget who killed President John F. Kennedy.
And South.
Americans.
Well, and South America.
Americans killed, well, one American if you believe the official result.
But he was a commie, though. Yeah, call me Inkling. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't
take
count.
that, North Korea.
Yeah.
In fact, he goes on to say, President Barack Obama should be careful in case the U.S. military wants to kill him as well.
Oh, no.
So,
I'll pound him with banana cake.
now this is controversy, boys and girls, and in an exclusive live interview tonight on Movie Groove with President Obama's office in Washington, we now have on the line the official spokesperson for President Obama, Mr. Irvine Wortfale. Mr. Wortfale, in light of this reaction to Seth Rogen and James Franco's new film, just how seriously is the White House taking these threats of nuclear annihilation from the feared North Korean leader Kim Jong-il? Mr. Wortfale.
It doesn't sound very serious.
Mr. Wortfale? Mr. Thanks for your time. Irvine Wortfale there with the US's response to these.
I think you laughed so hard he peed a little. I think you did.
Anyway, in other news, Alister Lockhart, correct about something, shock. Yes. For those of you who missed the cast iron proof that I know what I'm talking about, actually, no, we don't.
Uh-oh.
We had a clip that proved...
Oh,
no, that's blowing the whole bit.
Oh, the
You know
dog
what?
ate it. Oh, I left it on the train. Oh, it's here somewhere. Let me just check my pockets.
You know what? To hell with you. We're going to a track and I'm going to dig it out.
Movie Groove presents Things That Will Never Happen.
Okay, it's a drama, and the main character is gay. Does he die at the end? No.
Join us next time for more Things That Will Never Happen. Movie Groove presents Things That Will Never Happen.
Okay, it's a drama, and the main character is gay. Does he die at the end? No.
Join us next time for more Things That Will Never Happen.
And welcome back to Energy Groove Radio. We're transmitting live in the beautiful city of Sydney and all around the world. My name is Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is Gavalanche, and the show you're listening to is Movie Groove. It's what's on screen. And what are we talking about? For those of you who missed, as I was saying, the cast iron proof that I know what I'm talking about, we have this clip from way back in episode 14. That was in May. Take a listen to this. Steve Carell in this takes a dark and serious turn and has many wondering if the funny man can pull off a heavy dramatic role. Because it's not like any comedian has ever managed to do drama and be brilliant at it before, except for Tom Hanks, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, Eddie Izzard, Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie, Jamie Foxx, Billy Crystal, Jack Lemmon, Emma Thompson, Whoopi Goldberg, Billy Connolly, Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd, Steve Coogan, Rowan Atkinson, Jerry Lewis, Will Smith, Albert Brooks, Will Ferrell, Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, and Bill Murray. You know, except for those people, it's never ever worked before, so they're taking a real leap of faith with Carell here. Carell's, from the clip that they've released, Carell looks great in it. You know,
He's buffed up, has he?
No, he's entirely different. He's changed his look and he's dialed his personality way back. And well, I mean, he's angling for an Oscar by the looks of things. Just from the little clip alone, you can see like, oh baby, it's Oscar time.
Ooh, I hope so. I like Steve.
Well, Gav, it would appear that those in the know are already confirming what I already correctly surmised, despite your insistent doubts and naysaying.
Nay.
As evidenced by an article in Variety's New York editor, Mr. Raman Satude. I don't even know if I spelled that correctly. It was entitled Steve Carell is an Oscar lock for Foxcatcher.
Ooh.
Thank you. And he writes, the knockout performance in a cast of great performances is Steve Carell as John DuPont, the schizophrenic millionaire who in '96 murdered Olympic wrestler David Schultz. Carell is barely recognizable in the part, wearing a prosthetic nose, a la Nicole Kidman in The Hours, for which she also got an Oscar, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh. False
Teeth and a receding hairline. It's not just the physical transformation that's so impressive. Carell inhabits the character from the inside.
Creepy.
Well, he is in jail now, so he would have appreciated that, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if he got to speak to the guy.
I don't know, but I guess from now on we'll have a little less mocking and scoffing at my predictions from here on in, shall we?
Scoffity scoff.
A little more respect from the peanut gallery, maybe, especially in light of another unlikely prediction that I made that the new Transformers movie would suck. It turns out that it's offered very little in the way of improvement over the raw effluent Michael Bay has been spewing at us his entire career, as evidenced in this article from news.com by movie reviewer Leigh Pash, which asks the question, quote, "Is Transformers: Age of Extinction the worst action blockbuster ever?" Unquote. And we're going to have more about that coming up in opening scene, but until then, that's it for a News Hope, and remember, when it comes to news, this source will be with you, always. Next on the show, we've got the segment where we have a look at what's opening in theatres in Australia and all around the world. This is Opening Scene. I swear I'll change that when I've got time.
Oh, no. I like it.
Okay, well, I'm glad somebody does.
Trump's blaring away. It's very regal. It's like, the king is coming. Make way. Here comes the king. Trumpity Trump.
Well, speaking of the king of shite, Michael Bay's latest explosive fecal incident has sprayed onto screens today across the world, and the early reviews are in, confirming what we already suspected would be true. That as bad as Michael Bay's movies are, they're only going to get worse and worse as he gets lazier and lazier. Dov Cornitz of Filmmaker Australia has already delivered his verdict, saying, "Transformers: Age of Extinction has appalling dialogue, deplorable representations of women, unself-aware action sequences, very little humour, and racial stereotyping." In other words, it's a Michael Bay movie. You could have written that years ago and it would still be true.
Man, you hate Michael Bay.
Yes.
You really don't like him.
Have you never seen a Michael Bay movie?
He's like, "You're not coming to my barbecue, Michael Bay."
If you go to Red Letter Media, they've just posted a video where the guys over there watch all three of the previous Transformer movies at the same time, and it turns out they're pretty much exactly the same thing. Like, the beats in the movies are almost perfectly synchronized.
Wow.
You know, first of all, you have a long, lame action sequence, and then in the same minute, you get introduced to Shia LaBeouf and his family, and then in the same minute again, you get introduced to the love interest, and then she saves him from a tiny, vicious robot. Again, these events are synchronized. Yeah. The introduction of Bumblebee, again, completely synchronized. So he's basically just carbon copying the same formula over and over again.
Paste.
And you people keep on going to see it, and I'm getting very angry.
Uh-oh. He's going to transform. It's Glazier Scotsman, look out!
Once again, Bay has shoveled out another artless multi-billion-dollar turd which will only go on to make squillions of dollars, while decent sci-fi fare like Edge of Tomorrow was an example sink without a trace, because the average moviegoer is now so hopelessly retarded that they can't or won't see a movie if there's the slightest indication that they'll need more brain than it takes to successfully navigate processed cheese into the correct face hole without causing major facial scarring and or death.
Bang!
I'm sorry, where was I? As mentioned above, the last break, News.com, a Murdoch outlet, and in the normal run of things, a purveyor of brain food for crash test dummies, even they have also panned the movie thusly. "Is Transformers: Age of Extinction the worst action blockbuster ever?" writes reviewer Leigh Pash. "Even the fairest minded observers would be hard-pressed to deny this fourth installment in the ever-crappening Transformer..." That's a word. Crappening. "In the ever-crappening Transformers series boasts impressive credentials for the title. Never before has a big-ticket budget, its $200 million and then some, has been blown on such a small-minded outcome. It's bloated, bewildering, and arse-numbingly overlong, and will hopefully be extinct by the end of Age of Extinction." Oh, hang on. You know, it's one of these lines that critics keep on writing. "All that will hopefully be extinct by the end of Age of Extinction will be the urge to live through such a vacuous ordeal ever again." Yeah, you're good at your job. Transformers director Michael Bay conducts his usual perfect storm of freeze frames, speed ramping, and of course explosions, jackhammering on the frame with digitally rendered detritus at every opportunity. It's not as if we hadn't had fair warning. The Transformers franchise has been heading south at speed ever since the first product back in 2007. But if we're happy to sit there and let this stuff keep happening, then this is one day all there's going to be left to see at the cinema. Did you ever see Idiocracy?
No.
Alright, so it's a Mike Judge film where a fairly mediocre soldier gets railroaded into a cryogenics program, and he's supposed to be frozen for a week, but because of a mistake, he ends up being woken in the far future, where people have dumbed down so far that he is now literally the smartest man in the entire world by a large margin. And he goes to the movies and watches a movie called Arse, and it's basically just a 2-hour one-shot of some guy's hairy arse farting.
That sounds like an Andy Warhol film.
And explains that this film took out 7 Academy Awards, including Best Original Screenplay.
Brilliant.
That's where we're headed. If you keep watching Michael Bay, don't go and see Michael Bay movies.
That's really avant-garde.
Stop it.
Just an ass farting.
I would really rather watch that than a Transformers movie.
It is so modern that it blows my mind. And blows your bum. Ha!
Yeah, no, it's just... Anyway.
It is fartingly good.
It's
The farting.
It's not fair. Please stop going to see these movies, please.
The Godfarter.
What do I have to do?
Fart Gordon.
All right, if you like Michael Bay at
Planes,
all,
trains, and farty.
why don't you hit us up on the Facebook page and tell me I'm wrong? You know, because it'd be nice for somebody to do that.
The good, the bad, and the farty.
Anyway, Snowpiercer. On the other side of the intelligence divide, we have Snowpiercer, a thoughtful original sci-fi flick by Korean director Bong Joon-ho. And here's a clip.
He said June.
Passengers, as in the beginning, I belong to the front. You belong to the tail. Keep your place. Curtis, is it time?
Now isn't the time.
Well, when is the time?
Soon. Are you Namgoon Min-soo? Security specialist? We control the engine. We control...
Yeah, no one will go and see that.
They sound like they need to get a watch or something, or a clock. Because they're like, now's not the time. Or when's the time? So, well, what's the time, anyone?
Look out the window.
Yeah. Now's not the time.
No one will go and see it. Largely because distributor Harvey Weinstein lost the battle to cut out more than 20 minutes of extraneous and unneeded deadwood from the movie. You know, context, subtlety, character development, plot, all that boring stuff between the explosion and tits that tends to make dribbling lobotomized bucket feeders a bit sleepy.
Oh, yeah.
Thusly, the Weinstein Company has launched a limited release for the film. Snowpiercer will be playing this weekend in 8 theatres in the United States.
8?
8. Yeah, so that's just basically a big FU from Weinstein to Bong Joon-ho.
And not counting
That's what you get for not doing what I say.
Not counting a screening in Nan's garage as well with like a white towel.
Yeah, well, Nan must have.
sheets.
Yeah, Nan can get it on VOD because it's been released on video on demand as well. This, despite the fact that the movie has scored a Metacritic rating of 82%, making it the highest rating sci-fi action movie so far this or last year. So no wonder Weinstein wanted to cut it up. It wasn't stupid enough. So if you're listening, Harvey, just know that when you die, I will see to it personally that there's a memorial plaque to your life and work glued into a toilet bowl in every Taco Bell outlet in Queens. Die in a fire. It's just, no, doesn't it? Don't you? I get angry, okay? I go to the movies a lot, and I'm really tired of just, you know, I mean, how about a complex plot? Oh, we've got a complex plot. No, not a plot that's needlessly complex so that if I ignore it, it doesn't matter. Did you see Prometheus?
No, I didn't bother.
It is just intensely stupid from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's like in every Alien movie, they have a scene where they invite, you know, they wake the ensemble cast out from cryosleep and they herd them into a briefing room to tell them and the audience, by extension, what's going on.
Yep.
And they say, you're probably all wondering what we're doing here. And this angry ranger with a mohawk says, well, yes, I am actually, because I'm a very angry geologist.
Right. With a mohawk.
And I accepted this job, apparently, on the basis of payment alone, and without asking any other questions, submitted to being put to sleep and flown to the other side of the galaxy. But now that I'm awake and a little bit grumpy, frankly, I would like to know what's going on.
And he dies.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know what we've been hired to do. I mean, what was he going to do if they said, well, you know, what we're doing is we're studying the effects of alien gang rape on geologists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be asking interesting questions such as how long they can endure the gang rape, how much pain they will suffer, and what that will do to the structure of their sphincters. This consistent and violent gang rape by 9-foot alien hominids.
Ew.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Seriously.
I don't want to see that movie.
Who flies to the other side of the galaxy like, you know, you've been given a job, you've been given so much money. What are we doing when they get there? Don't worry about it. We'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
We'll let you know. It's okay. So yeah.
Trolley collector. What?
Prometheus just gets stupider and stupider. It's like they just filmed a bunch of stuff hoping that some kind of meaning would come out of it at the end. Wrong. Nah. It's entertaining, but there's just nothing there. So I'm going to climb down off my soapbox now.
I think so. Wash your mouth out.
That is everything on the screen and in the scene for this week. So until next week, know this, it's always darkest before the opening scene. Welcome back to Energy Groove Radio. We're transmitting live from the city of Sydney and all around the world, and the show you're listening to is Movie Groove. It's what's on screen. My name is Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is the gorgeous, the unbelievable Gavalanche.
Hello.
So your weekend in Jersey, did you get a chance to look at the new bridge that they built there?
Yeah, I didn't see no bridges. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an Atlantic Highland. Please stop doing the accent.
Hey, what do you mean? What accent? I just came back. I was hanging out with them Joyzy boys.
Joyzy, the
And
Joyzy
that
boys.
Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood fella. You made all those macaroni westerns back in the 60s or something.
Have you seen Jersey Boys? I'm not even.
Yeah, I saw them. They came over to my place. We played poker. It was great.
Which one of the which of the songs are they playing in the? I can't even remember any of the songs.
Oh, they sing like "Big Broads Don't Weep" or something like that.
one.
Yeah, that's the one. Big Broads Don't Cry.
Sing along.
Yeah.
Do the high part.
I can't. I gotta get on my special pair of underpants and give them a bit of a squeeze to get the high note. So
dear.
I won't be doing that.
You're reading out the microphones on that. So.
That's right. It just popped.
Anyway. So Vafangul indeed.
Yeah, that's right. That's the kind of car I drive, the Vafangul. It's very
actually,
cool.
I think that's a really bad swear word to say in Italy, and we are actually broadcasting in Italy at the moment.
Hey, how you doing? Too bad about the soccer, huh? What a jip. That guy biting that player. What is that, huh? Forget about it.
Who bit who?
Some player
Who bit
from...
who? Who bit
That's
you?
right.
Who bit who?
Well, some...
Ain't nobody. Nobody told me.
No, well, some guy from the other team, Uruguay, or you are gay. Hey, I don't know. He bit
So
one
we
of the
don't
Italian
have
boys.
news on this. So like who actually?
Oh, yeah,
the guy's name is.
Oh, I forget his name. It's some punk, you know. I got it here in the paper here. Where is it? Some funny picture somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, like some guy bites another guy.
It looks like he
He's a
really
big
nailed him
brouhaha.
as well. It's like,
And he's done it before a couple of times. He's bitten a couple of other players. So, yeah.
oh, so it's like his signature move.
I think it is something like that. You know, I don't think it's going to catch on.
I
so
thought
much.
guys from Jersey didn't watch soccer.
He's going to get like a 2-year ban or something. He ain't playing no more. So he's.
Anyway, the
he's
World
on
Cup is a
suspense.
wonderful thing. I hope you're watching it. Scotland didn't qualify again.
Oh no! What a surprise! Scotland not making it to the World Cup.
Scotland always used to
who
qualify.
thought?
Scotland always used to qualify until the mid-90s, where they changed the rules.
Change the rules, do they?
They said that if you were like it used to be, if you were a Scottish player, then you could elect to play for Scotland rather than England. But then they
Right.
changed rules and said, nah, if we want to play for England, then it has to be England.
Oh.
I believe that was the case, or maybe they just pay a hell of a lot more money. Kids
Probably
these days.
Option B.
Anyway, we're not talking about football, we're talking about movies, and every now and again, we like to take you, the listener, down the road to a new world.
A world where there are no rules.
Well, actually, I've got a rule book right here. So.
You're ruining my bit. This is a bit we call trailer trash.
Sakes alive, looks like we got us a convoy.
And in the trailer park this week, we've got The Interview. We were talking about this earlier, if you remember. In the action comedy The Interview, Dave Skylark, James Franco, and his producer Aaron Rappaport, Seth Rogen, run the popular celebrity tabloid TV show Skylark Tonight. When they discover that North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un is a fan of the show, they land an interview with him in an attempt to legitimize themselves as journalists. As Dave and Aaron prepare to travel to Pyongyang, that's the capital of North Korea, their plans change when the CIA recruits them, perhaps the two least qualified men imaginable to assassinate
The
Kim
fun ensues.
Jong-un, and wackiness ensues. Here's a clip.
You are entering into the most dangerous country on Earth. Kim Jong-un's people believe anything he tells them, including that he can speak to dolphins, or he doesn't urinate and defecate.
Oh. You telling me my man doesn't pee or poo?
Everybody pees and poos.
But he does talk to dolphins. You want to go kill Kim Jong-un?
Totally. I'd love to assassinate Kim Jong-un. It's a date.
It sounds like a hoot.
They said pee and poop.
They really did. I apologize to that, listeners. There should have been a strong language warning ahead of that one. Anyway, as we mentioned in the news, the North Korean regime has been particularly vocal about its level of upset by the synopsis of the film. Apparently, when he heard the news, their glorious and godlike leader nearly choked on his pre-breakfast cheesecake loaf.
Pee and poop. Wow.
You know, it's tough being the fat kid in school. It must be really tough being the only fat kid in the entire country.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
So take that,
That's
Kim
right.
Jong-un.
Uppercuts. Hadouken.
Yeah, take it. That's quality comedy. I got that off the internet.
Top shelf.
Because Jim Carrey's got... Ooh, hang on, I didn't do the thing. Dumb and Dumber 2. Were you aware of this?
Yes. Oh, yes. I know that he's...
Because Jim Carrey's career isn't going quite as well as you might have hoped at this point, and because apparently Jeff Daniels answers his phone with the words, how much and where, we're getting a sequel to the 1994 Farrelly Brothers' alleged comedy Dumb and Dumber, a movie that proved that when it comes to broad appeal, you'll never lose money by taking your audience for a massive pack of bung-eyed, mouth-breathing throwbacks with as much self-awareness as a pet rock.
I like Jim Carrey. He's done some good stuff.
Get out.
No, he did Man on the Moon.
Get out of my studio
about
right
Neil
now.
Armstrong.
I swear to God, I will kill
And
you.
he did The Mask, starring Cher.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah. Oh, we squeezed one out then, folks.
We
Squeezed one out. I made Al squeeze one. Victory. No work's done here. Goodbye, sir.
That is true. Anyway, doing their best to pretend that they have no knowledge of the existence of the 2009 prequel Dumb and Dumber 2 When Harry Met Lloyd, a movie less funny than the death by fire of an orphanage full of kittens. Jim Carrey and I said it wasn't funny. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels reprise their signature roles as Lloyd and Harry in the sequel to the smash hit that took physical comedy to new heights by doubling down on fart jokes, kicks to the nuts, fart jokes, pratfalls, fart jokes, and fart jokes.
Oh, yeah.
The original film's directors, Peter and Bobby Farrelly, take Lloyd and Harry on a road trip again. This time to find a child Harry never knew he had, and the responsibility neither should ever be given. And here's a clip.
There he is again. Almost 2 decades and he still comes.
How you doing, buddy? Brought you your favorite candies. Come on, Lloyd, you gotta get over her. Mary Samsonite was just a girl. That's it, kid. Come on, spit it out. God, yeah! Wait a minute. So you mean you have been faking for 20 years? Mm-hmm. That's awesome!
Oh, why don't you roll me inside? We'll get the nurse to take the catheter out of me.
We don't need nurses for that.
But don't you have to...
Hey, that's funny. Funny stuff. I'm liking it. I'm going to go see that. That's funny stuff. Real funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hoot. Dumb and Dumber 2 stars Kathleen Turner, the former screen sex bomb, who's beginning to resemble a rejected design for one of Jabba's henchmen. The unfortunately named Rob Riggle, don't know who he is. Laurie Holden, who probably got the role because she looks a bit like Lauren Holly did 20 years ago. Someone called Rachel Melvin, and a cat named Butthole.
Ooh, another cat.
Yeah, it's scheduled to hit theatres on November 14th. I can't wait. Brackets for the sweet release of Death's Embrace.
Yes.
Fury.
Fury?
Sorry, wrong one. Fury. There it is. Columbia Pictures has released the first trailer for Fury, starring Brad Pitt being pretty and brooding, Shia LaBeouf being a twat, Logan Lerman being who? Michael Pena being a token ethnic variant, John Bernthal being, you know, that guy from The Walking Dead, and Jason Isaacs, who, being English, will no doubt be the German guy.
The German, yeah.
The movie is not to be confused with 2012's Fury, in which Samuel L. Jackson plays an ex-con attempting to leave his past behind him. Nor with 2011's Fury, in which Samuel L. Jackson plays the sadistic head of a gladiatorial TV deathmatch of the future. Nor with 2009's Fury, a horror flick about a teenage band hunted by a vicious drug lord and a malevolent poltergeist. Nor with 1973's Fury, a story of war, love, and a family's revenge starring Oliver Reed. Nor with 1955's Fury, a story about a boy and his horse with Peter Graves. Nor with 1936's Fury, a noir thriller with Spencer Tracy and Sylvia Sidney. Nor with Nick Fury, Cuban Fury, Blind Fury, Caged Fury, Shadow Fury, Desert Fury, Assassin's Fury, Blanche Fury, Gun Fury, Kung Fury, Fatal Fury, Chained Fury, brackets, lesbian slave desires, Certain Fury, Black Fury, Dragon Fury, Sudden Fury, Young Fury, Space Fury, Sea Fury, Apache Fury, Cyclone Fury, Dead Fury, White Fury, Double Fury, Street Fury, Timber Fury, The Fury, Power Rangers Jungle Fury, and Anal Fury 5, The Return of Johnny Rocket Joe.
Wow.
It's not to be confused with any of those titles. No. This film is called Fury.
Why is it called Fury?
presumably because somebody does something furious.
Right.
Written and directed by David Ayer, who gave us Training Day, if you remember.
I liked that, actually. That was pretty good.
The film is set... You what not come at me now? Ooh, I nearly said the N-word.
Uh-oh.
He says it in the film. The film is set at the very end of World War II in April of 1945, and as the Allies make their final push in the European theatre... That's sad, I didn't know they only had the one. A battle-hardened army sergeant named Wardaddy.
Wardaddy.
I didn't make that up.
Whoa, daddy. Whoa, daddy.
Brad Pitt plays a battle-hardened army sergeant
come on.
called Wardaddy.
This is war. You can't be laughing through it. Look, Brad Pitt plays a battle-hardened sergeant Wardaddy.
Wardaddy commands a German tank and her 5-man crew.
And her 5-man crew.
On a deadly mission behind enemy lines. Outnumbered and outgunned, Wardaddy and his men face.
Outnumbered and outgunned, Wardaddy and his men face.
Overwhelming odds in their heroic attempts.
Overwhelming odds in their
to
historic
strike at the
attempt.
heart of Nazi Germany.
Dave, there's something Nazi
Here's a
Germany. We've lost Al. We've lost Al.
We're it. Sergeant Collier, I'm your new assistant driver. Never even seen me inside the tank.
You will. I started this war killing Germans in Africa. Now I'm killing Germans in Germany. Been with these fine gentlemen for years.
Head out! Do your job! Do what you're here for!
Deals are peaceful. History is violent.
Yeah. Go see it.
There's some wisdom from Wardaddy.
It brought Al to tears.
Adel Fury 6, the Wardaddy comic.
We have lost Al. No, folks, it's a good movie with Brad Pitt playing a tough Sarge. He killed them in Africa and then he's killing him in Germany.
So it's Saving Private Thingy. They've got a kid who they explain things to him so they don't have to explain, so they can explain things to the audience. Wardaddy can do his pop Sun Tzu shit. War. I didn't start this war, but I'm in it, and by God, I'll finish it. Crap. So there, look out for that one. Same old thing, and same old title. What's more, it opens November 14th.
That gets 7 giggles out of 10. Lovely review there.
Look out! Here comes the Wardaddy.
Hi, boys.
Let's everybody line up.
Come on, pull the pin on my grenade. Oh, this one went up with a bang.
Oh boy! Oh, that's all for the trailer park this week.
Best review ever, Al.
Please join us again.
Please join us again
next time, because this time it's personal again.
So we crashed the gate doing 98. I says, let them truckers roll 10-4.
This is George Michael.
George Michael would let it down easy. We'll be right back.
Movie Groove presents Things That Will Never Happen.
We want Nicolas Cage for this action movie. Is he in?
Not yet. He says he wants to read the script.
Join us next time for more Things That Will Never Happen.
Guten Tag, mein friend.
So I've had a bit of a rest.
Yes,
and we're ready to carry on. I can now say the name Wardaddy without bursting out laughing. Hey, Wardaddy. It's still pretty funny.
What if you chose that name? Like, on purpose?
I want my character to be called Wardaddy. Okay, Brad, you're the man. Jesus Christ.
There's a chair with Wardaddy on the back of t-shirts. Cup of coffee for Wardaddy. Don't call me Brad. Call me Wardaddy on set. Mr. Wardaddy.
He won't answer to any other name.
Mr. Daddy. Just call me War. Yes. Here's your coffee latte. Soy half kip.
Oh dear, stop it. Anyway, occasionally on the show we like to focus on the movie news that makes... Stop it. The Geek Leak busts its leak. This is the Geekly Roundup.
I'm nerdy in the extreme and whiter than sour cream. I was in a V Club and Glee Club and even the chess team. Nerdy and whiter nerdy.
Yes, and this week on the Geekly Roundup, Looper director Rian Johnson is to direct Star Wars Episode 8. Yes. Johnson is a director who gave us Looper a couple of years back, a solid sci-fi time travel thriller with a rare, creditable performance from Bruce Willis, who now apparently hates working in movies so much he can't even be bothered to do his trademark smirk anymore, a move that requires him to do no more than lift one corner of his mouth.
Yeah, but he does it with such talent, though.
He's greedy and lazy.
Well, it's Stallone.
He had a fight with Stallone, and he dropped out of The Expendables 3, and Stallone tweeted, "He's greedy and lazy."
What's that still?
Greedy and lazy.
Greedy and lazy.
He's greedy and lazy.
Ah.
So yeah, he tweeted, "Greedy and lazy, a surefire recipe for career suicide," and it caused a big controversy because he didn't realise that when he writes things down, people can understand what he's saying.
Yeah, it's a bit different than speaking.
So,
Gotta be careful there, Sil.
So he said he wasn't going to do Twitter anymore, or as he put it,
that's him. He's in the studio.
It's like he's here. Reaction from the GeekNet has been largely positive on this one. It's good to see someone who understands the genre at the helm for mine, but we're a long way off, and who knows what we'll get from episode 7. Speaking of which, Harrison Ford has busted his leg. I'm afraid so, Mr. Skywalker. Mr. Ford has been injured on the set of Star Wars. Now, this is not breaking news. It's been a couple of weeks since this happened. Did you hear about this?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so a bit of the Millennium Falcon fell on him. That's appropriate, but it seems like it's going to be a long-term problem for the production of the much-anticipated sequel. Harrison is not a great age for an injury like the one he received. Just a couple of weeks ago, Ford broke his leg in a mishap on the set of Star Wars Episode 7 when somebody attempted to use him to prop up a scaffold after mistaking him for a slab of pine.
Oh.
He used to have such fun, and now he's just, I don't even get my paycheck.
Yeah, he's a grumpy old man.
He's a tough bastard, but he's also an old bastard.
How old is he now?
He doesn't break wind, he breaks dust.
He's so old he breaks dust.
Yeah, so, and there's some dust on that joke as well, I'm afraid.
There is. Thank you, Cheech and Chong, for that one.
He's so old that his arse is haunted. He'll be 72 this year, and the word coming from the set is that he could be out of service for as long as 6 months, and this is a problem because you can't do Star Wars without Solo. We learned that from the 3 prequels. He's pretty much the main character of Episode 7. Apparently he's leading a galaxy-wide search party for Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Which is good because it'll keep Mark Hamill off screen. Jedi News has published a rumour this week that there was an emergency meeting today on the film's Pinewood Studios set to determine whether Abrams can realistically make the December 2015 release date. Those lens flares won't just overdo themselves. Officially, Disney remains firm on the date, but if Ford's out, they'll have little choice but to shoot around him and wait for his doctor's all clear. This leaves Disney without a Christmas release for the 2015 movie. So another tentpole flick would have to take the slot, and that is still a problem because that flick will not be Star Wars. So we'll need to build a second internet to cope with 6 months of nerds whining. And on that note, that segues neatly into Tom Cruise to star in Star Wars Episode 7.
Oh, wow!
I'm not kidding.
Yay.
If you had any doubts that the next Star Wars film was going to be a quality homage to the series' original spirit, rest assured that all is well with the news that Space Pope Thomas Cruise Mapother III, known to you and I as Tom Cruise, because that is his real name, is in talks to make a cameo appearance in Star Wars Episode 7, The Hunt for Xenu. That's a working title that I just made up. This has been prompting idiotic speculation that he is to replace or at least amend the space left by Harrison Ford, who, as we mentioned, was injured. The internet has reacted in typically adroit fashion to the news by exploding with ill-informed invectives spewed by idiots who seem to have mistaken a series of silly fantasy movies, only 50% of which are actually any good, with a reason to live.
Yep. I'm not liking it.
Yeah,
I'm not liking it.
I
don't like it.
I guess I'm just not a kid
like
anymore.
I don't like it. Change it. I don't like it.
Yeah, definitely
Nope.
walking.
Nope.
Definitely time for walking.
No
Nope. Sorry, I did 2 separate references there.
Yeah, you did the Sesame Street one there as well.
See how I segued one to the other? That's how a professional does it, Gav. Watch and learn, baby. Predator reboot.
Ooh, Predator.
Yes, it's happening. And a little while back, you might remember we got some very bad news from a malevolent spirit on who would be at the helm.
Remember, whatever you hear, don't listen. She will tell you lies to confuse you, but you mustn't listen. Lucy, can you hear me? It's Dr. Coupland.
Chicken McNuggets are made of dolphins. Oh, God.
Professor, are you sure this is okay? Don't listen to her.
While you sleep, cockroaches, I'm using your nostrils as a foot bath.
Oh my god. I don't think I can take any more of this. Don't listen.
The Predator reboot will be directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Now, if you pulled the cover over your head, kids, don't worry. She was lying. That's what the devil does. He lies.
Dirty devil.
The news on this one has gone from very bad to possibly very damn good. Shane Black, recently the director of Iron Man 3, will write a treatment for and direct the reboot effort announced at Fox. Why is this such good news? Because Black is also distinguished by his appearance in the original 1987 John McTiernan directed movie that kicked off one of the world's best loved and worst used franchises as the ill-fated Hawkins, who you'll remember was the earnest radio operator who would regale the team with a stream of very smutty and very, very bad jokes.
Ooh.
None of which are fit for broadcast here. Remember that character? You remember him?
Yeah, but I wanted to do one of the jokes, but...
No, you can't. No. No, you cannot do.
Once was a lady from Bunt.
No. It's, yes, no, he doesn't... Yeah, no, they're not. We can't. But yes, and a tip, a word to the wise. If you find yourself... If you're a radio operator and you find yourself in a horror movie, just leave.
Yeah.
You're going to be the first to go. It's always the radio operator is always the first to go.
Get out.
Sorry, no, the second one. The captain is the first one to go. They always get rid of the most experienced and level-headed guy first.
The only one that can save us. Oh, thank God you're here,
Yeah,
Captain.
there he goes. And then the radio operator goes second.
Sparky! No, Sparky! What happened, Sparky?
Anyway, Black will hand his treatment off to his buddy Fred Decker. They worked on Monster Squad. Remember Monster Squad?
Monster Squad.
Wasn't that great? Kick him in the narcs! Remember that? They were facing down, these three kids are facing down on the Wolfman. And one of them says, kick him in the narcs. And so he kicks him in said narcs. And the Wolfman hits the floor and he goes, Wolfman's got narcs.
Narcs, man.
So so that was a hit for them, and Fred Decker's going to write the script proper and pass it back to Black for production. And the producers have been trying to get Shane Black to write Predator from the beginning, because this story is also in the THR report. When Predator was being made in '86, Black was already a screenwriting prodigy for his Lethal Weapon and Monster Squad scripts, and he was also handed a record 1.2 million advance for when he was shopping around the script for The Last Boy Scout.
Oh yeah,
on the back of the success of the Lethal Weapon movie.
Yeah.
He was offered 1.2 million for the script, which was an absolutely unprecedented sum at the time.
Well, yes.
So he was a bit of a wonderkind.
Das Wunderkind.
They wanted him to polish the script for Predator, but he turned it down. And then when he was told there was a small role in the movie, and would he like to have it, he said yes. And then when they arrived in South America, the exec said, would you mind taking a look at the script? And he said, no, I'm still not rewriting it. So, yeah, so he got his... fairly early on with the whole ego thing there, but yeah, it's Hollywood. Anyway, Predator 2, Alien vs. Predator, AVP Requiem, and Predators have all been so bad they only serve to make you love the original even more, and it is awesome.
Yep, the first one was good, yes.
And leaving it as the only Predator installment that really works as an action film on its own, and not, as all the other films are, a massive, ineptly produced turd that adds insult to injury by furthering the careers of directors like Stephen Hopkins and Paul W.S. Anderson.
You know what they should do is combine Aliens vs. Predators with Terminator. No, not Terminator. Transformers.
Yeah, don't say that out loud, because somebody in LA just dropped their Coke spoon.
Brilliant! Aliens vs. Predators vs. Transformers and Terminator. Bring in Terminators. Why not?
I like the way you think. You're going to be big in this town, son.
Four-way rumble.
Sign here. All we need, really, for this is Arnie to cameo as General Phillips, and I'm so in they'll have to peel me off this with the jaws of life.
He's a good choice.
It's going to be so good. Batflick, to star and direct in Batman Standalone. No, it's not that bad. According to Latino Review, we're hearing the studio is eyeing 2019 for the standalone Batman film, and the working title? It's The Batman.
Ooh.
I think that must have been named by an Australian. Because you know how in Australia they say, we've got this bridge on the Sydney Harbour, what should we call it? No one? Anyone? Okay, we've also got an opera house in Sydney, what will we call that? Anyone? Okay, we've got some snowy mountains. What will we call those? All right, we've got a sandy desert, which is pretty great. We've also got a barrier reef. That's pretty great too. What will we call those? Anyone?
Wet park.
Yeah. Okay. You see my point.
I do indeed. And the answer to this question
put it
were
away.
the Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, the Great Barrier Reef, the Snowy Mountains, and
the Great Sandy Desert.
And Sandy's Desert.
Yes. There's also the Coast Road. They were up all night thinking these.
Oh, yeah.
Batman
Great
vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice should be ending production in December, and then they break for the holidays and go into production on Justice League in the winter of 2015. So then he takes a break from the Cape and stars in his own period gangster film Live by Night, which is due in 2016.
He's a busy boy.
Well, this gives him time to develop a screenplay to the standalone Batman film. So the rumor is, will Batfleck direct the standalone Batman film? He's one of the studio's signature stars, and he's headlining as one of its signature characters, and his last directorial effort, Argo, took home Best Picture.
That'll be interesting.
Affleck's deal to play Batman took months for his agent at WME and attorney at Zifrin to close, so the thinking is that the contract contains or may contain a rider in his deal for directing the movies. I think Affleck really only gives a truly great performance when he's directing himself, so this is our best shot at getting another quality run at Dark Knight.
Yeah, you don't want to stuff it up. Christian
or
Bale will be on you.
Wiping away the memory of Bane.
Bane.
Oh, Batman, you come back to
Oh, sorry, what was that? I didn't get that.
I didn't quite catch that.
You want a pizza? What are you saying? You want fries with that? What the hell are you saying? I'm the Batman. Oh, I got it now. You want me to destroy you? Right, so, and he's got to get in shape too. He's got to get muscly.
He
He's gotta
does,
get
yeah, he
fit
does.
and strong.
He does.
And all
Anyway,
that Batman-y things.
And that there is all we've got for the Geekly Roundup this week. So until next week, know this: if it ain't an obsession, then it ain't geek. Every week, what I like to do is remind the listeners that my favourite bit of the Oscars is the In Memoriam segment, but I don't want to wait until March. I like to enjoy death every week in a bit that we call Dead for Reals.
Behind the clouds, the sun is shining. There's a big blue sky waiting right behind the clouds.
Well, you're dead now, so shut up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not a very polite man. I didn't eat the moose.
So that's John Cleese there playing Death. And probably the best version of Death, I think.
No, I
in
like the
cinema
Death
history
in
with,
Bill and Ted's.
William Foreman?
I think that was his name, just Death.
The guy from Die Hard 2.
And they played checkers.
Like he starts at like Die Hard 2. He opens it with a naked moonlit butt shot where he's doing Tai Chi in his hotel room.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The butt shot.
I think the actor's name is Will Foreman. I'm not sure. Anyway, you thank my battleship. Dead for Reals, Eli Herschel Wallach. This is a big one, folks. He was a film, television, and stage actor whose career spanned more than 6 decades, beginning in the late 1940s. He won a BAFTA for his performance as Silva Vaccaro in Baby Doll. He also that was for Best Newcomer, and a Golden Globe nomination. And amongst his most famous roles are Calvera in The Magnificent Seven. Which one was Calvera?
He was the evil.
Oh, he was the bad guy. Of course he
the
was.
baddie.
Right, yeah.
He was the chief of the banditos. You give us everything, villagers, we no kill you.
Interestingly, his character is eventually defeated in the film, but he has outlived 6 of the other 7 stars.
Who's the last one to...
Robert Vaughn.
Of course.
Robert Vaughn isn't
Mr.
dead
Vaughn,
yet.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's the only other one that's still alive.
Wow.
So, and Wallach was older than all of them.
Well, he was 98, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he outlived like James Coburn, Steve McQueen, Yul Brynner.
Yep.
Help me out here.
And 3 other dudes.
Who are the 3
Robert
other
Vaughn
dudes?
and then 2 others, a young kid and some other guy.
Yeah. Anyway, we got the famous ones.
Yeah. Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson. Damn it. Il Brutto. He received BAFTAs, Tonys, and Emmys. He got an honorary Academy Award at the 2nd Annual Governors Awards presented on November 13th, 2010. And he, of course, worked with director Sergio Leone on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, his most famous role. He and Leone built a good relationship during the filming, but Leone had asked Wallace to play a role in his upcoming film, A Fistful of Dynamite, which you might remember.
Fistful of Dollars, yes.
No, Fistful of Dynamite, but the actor had a scheduling conflict. So after much pleading, Wallach finally relented and turned down the other offer and waited for Leone to raise enough Hollywood money for the picture. But the studio that Leone went to had Rod Steiger on their books, and he had one more picture in his contract. So they told Leone that he would have to use him if they were going to put up any financing. So Leone called to apologise to Wallach, who just stood dumbstruck on the other end of the line. He refused to give Wallach a token payment for losing out on 2 jobs, and the actor said, "You know what, I'm going to sue you." And Leone replied, "Get in line," and slammed down the phone. Ooh. So in his autobiography, Wallach relates the incident as being the final time that the two spoke to each other. It was a bit of a shame.
Oh, no.
In any case, he was also Guido in The Misfits, Tuco in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, of course, Don Altobello in The Godfather Part 3, Cotton Weinberger in The Two Jakes, which was an appalling movie, even if you had seen the original. Arthur Abbott in The Holiday. Yuck. And he was also in Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, and The Ghostwriter.
He was the best in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, though.
He certainly was.
Hey, Blondie, you know what you are? You're just a son of a...
What was that? What was that other line with the guy?
Final scene.
The guy's going to shoot him in the bathtub.
Oh, he goes, when you want to shoot. Don't talk. You just shoot.
You don't know Tuco. He's great. See that movie.
Tuco the Lat.
Be aware that back in the day, movies moved a lot slower.
It's brilliant though. Stick with it. Like,
yeah, stick with it.
You might be moving once the opening credits come in. The music alone will get you.
Yeah.
And then you got Clint and Lee Van Cleef.
And Clint directed him in Mystic River.
Oh, did he?
Decades later, yeah.
Wow. The teacher
Anyway,
has become the master. The student has become the principal.
He was also one of 3 actors to play the character of Mr. Freeze on the Batman television show.
Yeah?
Yeah, the other 2 were George Sanders. Remember, we talked about George Sanders.
Yes.
He was the voice of Shere Khan in the original Jungle Book.
That's right.
There was someone up there with Khan. Who is it?
Not to be confused with the guy from Lost in Space.
No, and Otto Preminger.
Otto
Preminger, who was a German director.
Right.
He directed the previous version of the 10 Commandments. You know, the old black and white version.
Right, yes.
And then he ended up being Mr. Freeze on Batman. It's weird.
Cool.
So...
What a career. I've done the 10 Commandments and Mr. Freeze. Can anyone top that?
Yeah. So he once said that he'd received more fan mail for being Mr. Freeze than any other role he's ever done. He also once said, having the critics praise you is like having the hangman saying you've got a pretty neck.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But don't forget, as Mr. Freeze, he was pretty cool. Yeah, baby, that's a home run. Yes. Crickets, get out of here. What do you know? They don't know comedy. They don't know nothing.
So we're just going to let the crickets run. Eli Wallach was 98 years old, and we miss him already.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah, that is the final bow, unfortunately. It's curtains once again on Dead for Reals. We'll see you on the other side.
Movie Groove presents Things That Will Never Happen.
And the Oscar for Best Director goes to Michael Bay.
Join us next time for more Things That Will Never Happen.
And that is all we have time for on the show. Join us next week when we'll be back with more movie stuff.
And bits and pieces.
I'll be back, and so will Gav.
I'll be back.
Unless something really bad happens.
I'm Spartacus.
Hit by a car. I heard a great story about, apparently Michael Douglas had a son called Greg. No, Michael Douglas has a brother called Greg, or he had a brother called Greg. He died. But while he was alive, he was a stand-up comic and not a really good one.
Mm.
You know, he would do that sort of like, what's the deal with ducks? They're always like walking around and quack, quack. What's that about?
Yep.
You know, I was like, I got this T-shirt, right? I mean, like, it goes to here, but what about Mr. Arm, huh?
Yeah. Hey, my arm's cold.
What is the deal? So that kind of comedian. So he was in London one time doing a gig, and he wasn't doing very well, and he got very angry at the audience, which is rule 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get angry at the audience, you've lost them.
You've lost.
And he sort of like, so he was going like, F you, London, F you. You
Yeah.
know who I am? I'm Kirk Douglas's son. And somebody in the audience stood up and went, no, I'm Kirk Douglas's son.
And then they all...
and then they'll be like, no, I'm Kirk Douglas's son. No, I'm Kirk Douglas's
Kabam.
son.
Movie Groove, 7 to 9 Thursdays on Energy Groove Radio.
Hey there, podcasters. Thanks for choosing Movie Groove. If you're a regular listener, or even if you're a version of a groover, why not take a moment to like, subscribe, or even leave an encouraging comment. Every week, Movie Groove brings you news, reviews, and cheap shots at Michael Bay. All for a low, no price, or nothing per download. So enjoy the show. Like, subscribe, and comment. It's a little shop that shows a little love.
Very good, Robbie.
I couldn't hear it.